What is going on, and welcome back to another episode of I Coach Nutrition Radio, coming at y'all with yet another Q&A here. This one's coming from the I Coach Nutrition Family private Facebook group. The question was on what to eat if you want to gain weight. And this is kind of coming off the series of these last two podcasts here where we talked about, on the last one, what to do if you want to maintain weight, and on the one before that, what to eat if you want to lose weight. So the idea here is going to be the same from a quality perspective, right? The majority of your food, 80%, this 80-20 lifestyle concept here, 80% of your food should be nutrient-dense whole foods. I've gone through a list of what those are on these last two podcasts multiple times, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it once more. And then from there, build upon what actually matters in terms of the gaining weight side of this, or the maintenance, or the losing, in terms of the quantity side of the equation, which is ultimately what changes your body composition, from a numbers perspective there. So going back through the list here in terms of the nutrient-dense whole foods. So what I want to do here is I want to read through the list. All right, I'm going to go through proteins, I'm going to go through starches, I'm going to go through vegetables, fruits, and fats. And that way you have a list of what would be considered. This isn't the only list, but this is a list that has quite a bit of foods on it, quite a bit of food options. And this would basically break down the definition of nutrient-dense whole foods for each one of these categories here. All right, so let's kick it off with proteins first. So albacore tuna, beef flank, beef top round, beef top sirloin, bluefin tuna, bone broth, bottom round roast, canned sardines, chicken breast, chicken tenderloin, chicken thigh, crab, egg whites, extra firm tofu. I have round roast, ground beef, ground bison, ground turkey, halibut, light canned tuna, lobster, mackerel, ostrich, oysters, Pacific cod, pork tenderloin, scallops, seitan, shrimp, sirloin tip steak, skirt steak, trout, tuna packets, turkey breast, wild salmon, yellowtail. All right. For our starches, we've got yams, winter squash, whole wheat pasta, whole grain cereals, whole grain breads, white rice, teff, taro root, sweet potatoes, sprouted grain bread, spaghetti squash, rutabagas, russet potatoes, red skin potatoes, quinoa, purple potatoes, pinto beans, parsnips, oatmeal, lupini beans, lentils, lentil pasta, kidney beans, kamut, cream of rice, chickpeas, chickpea pasta, cassava root, butternut squash, buckwheat, brown rice, black beans, barley, black bean pasta, bagels, amaranth, acorn squash, and that would conclude the list of starches. From there, we got vegetables, so artichoke, bok choy, alfalfa sprouts, asparagus, bamboo shoots, bean sprouts, beets, broccoli, broccolini, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, celery, collard greens, cucumbers, edamame, eggplant, garlic, green peas, green string beans, jicama, kale, lettuce, mushrooms, nori seaweed, okra, onions, pickles, sauerkraut, spinach, spirulina, sprouts, sun-dried tomatoes, sweet potatoes, Swiss chard, watercress, and zucchini. From there, we got fruits: watermelon, tart cherries, tangerines, tamarillo, sweet cherries, strawberries, starfruit, red grapes, raspberries, pomelo, pomegranate, plums, pineapple, pears, peaches, papayas, oranges, nectarines, navel oranges, mangoes, limes, kumquats, kiwi fruit, jackfruit, honeydew, guavas, green grapes, grapefruit, Granny Smith apple, granadilla, gala apple, figs, elderberries, currants, cranberries, clementines, cantaloupe, blueberries, blackberries, bananas, and apricots. And then last but not least, healthy fat sources: almond butter, almond milk, almonds, avocado oil, avocados, blue cheese, Brazil nuts, cacao nibs, cashew butter, cashews, cheddar cheese, chia seeds, coconut, coconut butter, coconut milk, cottage cheese, extra virgin olive oil, feta cheese, flaxseed, full fat yogurt, goat cheese, goat milk, grass-fed butter, grass-fed ghee, hazelnuts, hemp seeds, mozzarella cheese, omega-3 fish oil, Parmesan cheese, pecans, pistachios, pumpkin seeds, sesame seed, sunflower seeds, walnut butter, walnuts, whole eggs, and whole milk. So quite the exhaustive list there, right? Giving you the breakdown of nutrient-dense whole foods, specific examples for every single one of those categories, being protein, starches, vegetables, fruits, and fats. All right, so what's the difference, right? You can eat any of these foods when you want to gain weight, when you want to maintain weight, when you want to lose weight, right? That's the quality side of the equation, eating nutrient-dense whole foods the majority of the time. But what really makes the difference in terms of being able to gain weight or maintain weight or lose weight comes down to the quantity side of the equation with your nutrition. If you want to gain weight, or if you want to know how many calories not to eat so that you don't gain weight, right? If that's not the goal, for some people, they're trying to put on weight, they're trying to put on muscle, and so they need to gain weight. That's the goal for them. But it ultimately comes down to how many calories you're consuming, right? So if you want to gain weight, you have to eat in a calorie surplus. So you would determine through something like a TDEE calculator what your maintenance calories are, right? You can go to tdeecalculator.net, and this can give you a kind of a ballpark number of what your maintenance calories should be. And then from there, a calorie surplus is going to be any more than that, right? Any higher, going up any higher amount than that. Now, a lot of the times these calculators are going to be much different than what you're currently consuming. And so you really need to meet yourself where you are, right? And actually start at what you're currently consuming. And this is why I always recommend clients, log your food, weigh and measure, log your food for a week. That way you can really meet yourself where you are, get yourself an initial assessment of how many calories you're currently consuming, right? Because regardless of what your maintenance calories should be, if you're trying to gain weight, you got to start where you're at. And once you start increasing your calories up, you're probably going to see weight gain, right? Now, again, if you're in a deficit, right, and you start reverse dieting your calories up there, or okay, just increasing your calorie intake up, well, you're probably not going to really gain weight because you're going to be working up to maintenance calories, which will make you maintain your weight. So you'll have to get into a surplus before you actually start gaining weight. And I have people all the time that come to me, they're like, I just can't put on weight. I just can't put on muscle, right? Okay, well, you're not eating in a calorie surplus if that's the case. And it's hard to do, right? Gaining weight is just as hard as losing weight. It's challenging, just as hard as maintaining weight. It's hard. You have to really make it a point. But one of the missing links for so many people, whether you're trying to gain weight, maintain weight, or lose weight, is actually tracking your food intake so that you have the awareness around how many calories you're actually consuming on a daily basis. It's no different than finances, right? If you want to be able to save money, you need to track your finances, right? If not, you're going to sit there and keep complaining about money, and money is going to keep being a stressor, right? And there's different scenarios there, obviously, right? But at the end of the day, you have to know your numbers. You have to know your numbers with finances. If you're sitting here coming to me as a accountant or financial advisor, or whatever it may be there, right? And it's the same thing here on the nutrition side. If you want to gain weight, if you want to maintain weight, if you want to lose weight, you have to start building awareness around the quantity side of the equation with nutrition. Because to sum up these last 3 podcasts here, it's not about what food should I eat to gain weight. You can eat any food to gain weight or maintain weight or lose weight. What it comes down to is you need to focus on how much of that food you're consuming, right? You need to focus on how many calories you're consuming per day. Because again, calorie surplus leads to weight gain. Maintenance calories will make you maintain your weight. Calorie deficit will make you lose weight. You can fit any of these foods into it. Obviously, we want the quality to be there at least 80% of the time. That's where this list of nutrient-dense whole foods comes in. But I could eat any of these foods with any of these goals. Ultimately, the quality side of the equation of nutrition is going to stay the same. The quantity side of the equation is going to be what needs to be changed, whether you're trying to gain weight, right, eating in a calorie surplus, maintain weight, eating at calorie maintenance, or lose weight, eating in a calorie deficit. So I hope this summarizes through these last 3 podcasts how to lose weight, what foods to eat if you want to lose weight, what foods to eat if you want to maintain weight, and what foods you need to eat or want to eat if you want to gain weight. I also hope that the bigger takeaway from this is that you can eat any of these foods. You ultimately need to be able to learn how to track your food intake, start building awareness around how many calories you're consuming on a daily basis. So ultimately you can manipulate your body composition however you please, right? If you want to gain weight, if you want to maintain weight, you want to lose weight, you have a lot more control over doing that than what you think, but you're going to have to put in some work, right, in order to be able to actually achieve that goal. It's not just going to happen magically from eating a certain food. All right. Cool. All right, guys. Well, hey, I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope you all have an amazing week here thus far. Thank you always for chiming in here and listening to the podcast. If you have any questions ever, please let me know. If there's ever a topic you want me to speak on or a question you want me to do a podcast on, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to. And other than that, hope you all have a great day. We'll chat here soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.